Good evening. My name is Melissa Dunklin, and I will be presenting on USDA agriculture disaster declarations, what they are, and why they matter. A USDA agriculture disaster declaration is a formal designation by the U.S. Department of Agriculture that identifies specific areas affected by natural disasters such as droughts, floods, hurricanes, or infestations which have significantly impacted agricultural production. This declaration allows affected farmers and ranchers in the designated areas to access federal assistance programs, including low interest emergency loans, grants, and resources aimed at helping them recover from the financial losses incurred due to the disaster. The process typically involves local and state officials assessing the extent of the damage and submitting a request for disaster designation to the USDA. Once approved, the declaration can provide crucial support to those in the agricultural sector, enabling them to rebuild and sustain their operations in the aftermath of a disaster. Despite some years of record crop production, agriculture-related disasters can still occur, necessitating these declarations to support affected communities. So, what happens when a disaster strikes a farm? Natural disasters and disease outbreaks can devastate farms. Farmers may lose crops, livestock, and their livelihood. The USDA helps with agriculture disaster declarations. They have a livestock indemnity program that's administered by the Farm Service Agency, and they offer financial compensation to livestock owners and contract growers who suffer significant livestock losses beyond normal mortality levels due to eligible adverse events. These events include adverse weather conditions, diseases, and attacks by federally protected animals. The Livestock Indemnity Program helps mitigate the financial impact of these losses, enabling the producers to recover and continue their operations. Generally, there are 5 steps in the USDA disaster declaration process. The first one being when the disaster occurs. It could be hurricanes, droughts, wildfires, or disease outbreaks. The next step would be damage assessment. The local and USDA officials evaluate their losses. And next would be the request submission. The governor or USDA officials submit a request. Then the declaration is issued. If it's approved, the USDA announces the disaster designation. And finally, when the aid becomes available, farmers can apply for the relief programs. Okay, let's talk about a recent USDA disaster declaration, the egg crisis. What happened and why did egg prices rise almost 59% in one year? Although inflation may have played a role in the rising egg prices, the real culprit is the outbreak of the H5N1, a highly transmittable and fatal strain of avian influenza, or the bird flu. The outbreak started in early 2022 and quickly grew into the largest bird flu outbreak in U.S. history. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, as of March 11th, the virus has affected over 166 million birds in the U.S. since February of 2022. This led to the culling of millions of hens. More specifically, it has affected about 130 million egg-laying hens, according to the data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Animal Plant Health Inspection Service. When an outbreak occurs, egg producers are forced to cull their flocks per USDA policy, which impacts the supply of eggs headed for grocery stores. When a bird flu outbreak is detected, the USDA policy dictates that egg producers must cull or depopulate their flocks, meaning all birds in the affected facility must be euthanized to prevent the further spread of the disease. I hope you enjoyed my video presentation on USDA disaster declarations. If you would like to learn more, please visit the USDA's website at usda.gov. Feel free to ask any questions or respond to my video on the discussion post. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing your videos.